Is this thing on? Welcome back to Movies TV Mad. Of course, you can follow me on Twitter at Movies TV Mad. So, considering we now know that Sharon Stone will be the main original villain from the Blue Beetle movie, let's go deeper and try and understand Ted Kord's role in this movie. So, Sharon will be playing Ted Kord's wife. Now, people are getting upset because the rumor is that Ted Kord will be in his 60s in this movie. I'm hearing the same thing, but let me calm you down and explain the situation. So in DC Comics lore, I think, and someone correct me down in the comments, or if the comments are there or whatever, right, if I'm wrong, but I think Ted Kord is the second Blue Beetle. People are frustrated because if he's in his 60s, how can that happen? I think as normal with these movies, these kind of comic book movies, they do change some things. So I believe instead of being the second Blue Beetle, that Ted was the first Blue Beetle, and in fact could still be an aging Blue Beetle in this movie. And so he realizes now that he cannot be at his age Blue Beetle anymore. So he's trying to recruit somebody else to be the next Blue Beetle. Then he probably meets Jamie Reyes. So this will be a very kind of compelling story if you think about it. Ted Kord's wife is the villain. Has she always been the villain? Ever since they've been married? Has she been working behind his back all this time? This will be a heartbreaking situation. I can see Sharon Stone's character killing off her husband, Ted Kord. Then, of course, Jamie Reyes decides to take the mantle of the Blue Beetle. Maybe early on in the movie, Ted's, approached Jamie. He's researched him. He believes this is the right lad for the job. But Jamie Reyes is saying, no, I don't want to do this. But then when Ted is murdered by his wife, Sharon Stone, Jamie realizes he has to take on the mantle and kind of get justice for his fallen mentor. It could be that Ted Kord is actually a mentor to Jamie Reyes in this movie. This kind of makes sense. So am I upset that he's going to be in his 60s most probably? No, because what I've just explained to you is probably what's going to happen. And I like this idea. I like the idea of this movie having this Latino kind of representation. But in terms of the people working behind the scenes, we've got Latino director or directors. I can't remember if it's just one or two directors, writers, cast. This is brilliant because what we're going to see here is the Latino kind of family unit being represented, something that happens very rarely on English-speaking TV and film. So we're going to see this unit. We're going to see this family. And I think this can kind of be similar to what we saw in Shazam with that foster family unit. And I really love that element of Shazam. So that's going to be really good. But I think if this is the way they're going to go at it, and this is the way they're going to deal with Ted Kord, I'm more than happy with that. Because if Ted's going to be in this movie, and I guess he would have to be, it would make sense that he was if he's going to be in his 60s, because I think Sharon is also in her 60s, it makes sense. Unless, Ted Kord's a much younger man, which I doubt. Now, in the comics, Ted Kord's Blue Beetle is actually a member of the Justice League. It makes sense that Jamie Reyes will end up being a member of the Justice League. Whatever their plans going forward on the Justice League, we're going to have to wait for Flashpoint if we ever actually get that movie. And if my theories about it being kind of postponed or cancelled are wrong, I hope I am wrong. And so I think this is the role that Ted Kord is going to play in this movie. And as I say, I think it's good. I think it's okay. So I'm not concerned if he's in his 60s, but I would like Ted to be a mentor to Jamie. I think it would be really, really good, and I think it would work well. There's rumours that they're going to cast James Marsden as Ted Kord. Now, I don't think James Marsden is anywhere near his 60s, or am I wrong? I mean, that guy surely in his mid to late 40s. I don't know. Maybe he's even younger. I'm not sure. But James Marsden is such a good actor. Of course, he was in Superman Returns. He's in Sonic. So he's quite popular right now, James. He was in the Enchanted movie with Amy Adams. You know, he's done a lot. And he's a good actor. And of course, he played Cyclops in Bryan Singer's X-Men. So he's been around for quite a while. So maybe, yes, I don't think he's in his 60s, surely. That's ridiculous. There's no way. So maybe he's slightly younger in this film. So it will be interesting what they do to Ted Kord. Now, interestingly enough, when we had Blue Beetle in Smallville, we had Ted Kord as this businessman, which actually is comic book accuracy, because Kord Industries is a subsidiary company from Wayne Enterprises, which is Bruce Wayne's company. So it could be actually that Ted Kord's Blue Beetle and Batfleck used to work together. Now, clearly, there was never a Justice League in Batfleck's younger days. That's why they set up a new Justice League. Or maybe that's where Batfleck got the idea. Maybe there was a mini little league in Ben Affleck's Batfleck's younger days. Who knows? But I think they certainly, this Ted Kord from the DCEU, if he's going to be in his 50s or whatever, would have worked with Batfleck in the past. So in this movie, just like Shazam, expect many, many cameos, or maybe not cameos, but Easter eggs and references to previous DCEU movies and obviously other pieces of content. And so that's very exciting. If they mention other superheroes like Batman and Ted Kord mentions working with Batfleck, I think that would be really, really awesome. I'd love to know what you think about this, but I just thought I'd do this video and explain, because as usual, there's lots of propaganda and negativity going on about Ted Kord being in his 60s. Sharon Stone is one of the biggest names in Hollywood. We want these type of people playing big roles in our DCEU and comic book movies. So this is huge. So we know that she's played a great villain before, or kind of a villain, in Basic Instinct. I don't think she actually was a villain in the end, or was she? I can't remember. Anyway, she can do it. She's going to be great. So how this works, I don't know. But what I've just explained to you, I have a feeling this is the way they're going to go with it. Ted Kord's older. He's looking to retire as Blue Beetle. He's looking for a younger man, a.k.a. Jamie Reyes, to take over his mantle. He's probably worked with people like Batfleck before. In his younger days, we may even get some flashbacks. Maybe Ben Affleck may even cameo in this movie. Who knows? And for the people who say, oh, well, Ben Affleck doesn't want to play Batman anymore, listen, he said a lot of things, but never those direct words. So, you know, anything is possible. So how do I think that Blue Beetle is shaping up, considering the director and the actors and everything we know about it now? I think this is going to be a freaking great movie, and I think they were right to move it from HBO Max to movie theaters. And I actually hope that they do the same thing with Batgirl. This has been Movies TV Mad. I'm Mick, your host with the most. Just ask your girlfriends and your wives. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you never miss this beautiful perfection. Nearly got that word wrong. And I shall see you later. Until we meet again. Au revoir. Goodbye. Auf Wiedersehen. See you again soon.